So the question is, let's say you have a single member LLC, right? And you're looking for a loan. So how do you get a single member LLC business loan with bad credit? Remember, you are a single member LLC, so you don't have to rely on anybody else. This is only you and yourself, and you have bad credit, and you're trying to get a loan. So let's have a conversation about that. It's really important when you are faced with this sort of conundrum to really first think about why you got there in the first place. I mean, maybe is it because you have some collections on your credit score? I mean, on your credit report, do you have some collections or some other derogatory items? So you need to understand the source of the bad credit. Or is it because you filed for bankruptcy? You know, the reason why I'm asking you to do this sort of analysis is because if you know the reason why you got the bad credit in the first place, you're able to find solutions, that you're able to find the kind of reasons you can give to the lender. Because lenders are going to ask you anyway. They're going to ask you, why do you have bad credit in the first place? If you can contextualize the conversation, if you can contextualize the reason of your bad credit, you actually might stand a chance to actually get approved. Especially if you have a relationship, an existing relationship with the lender. And in this case, it can be a credit union or a bank, okay? So when we talk about, so the very first thing you have to really pay attention to, the approach I want you to think about is that you want to actually check your credit score. You need to check your credit score and you need to check your credit report. So the thing is that, you know, things like delinquencies, unpaid tax liens, recent bankruptcies, those could actually drag your credit score really down to the bottom. And if you are able to explain what happened, you can really, to explain to the lender, of course, what happened, you stand a chance of qualifying for a loan. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here, to have this quick convo with you about how to get a new single member LLC business loan with bad credit. So we're talking about here about your business being new. So you are new, you're a single member LLC, and you have bad credit. So we have a trifecta. Okay, because see, usually if you are a single member LLC, but you do have some kind of operational history, lenders might look at you differently. But if you are new, you are a startup, and you are a single member LLC, then they have to pay attention to your personal credit, because your business, for all intents and purposes, has not established itself yet in the market, right? And in this industry, with banks, you know, filing for bankruptcy and the economy going up and down like this, a lot of lenders are really scared about this sort of trifecta. But I'll help you in this conversation, help you out in terms of making sure you present the better picture for your business, for your single member LLC business, so that you get approved for the loan, even if you have bad credit. So first thing you want to do here is to actually go back to the origins and look at your credit report and your credit score. So you have a clear idea why your credit score got down in the first place. If you didn't know already, okay, it's always good to have that info. The second thing I want you to really pay attention to here is that, see, the thing is, lenders want to pay attention to the revenue that you are making. So let's say, but you are new single member LLC, and you are looking for, let's say you want to apply for $50,000 in business loan for your new LLC, single member LLC business, right? Because you don't have revenue, you don't have no historical revenue, you need to actually switch to projected revenue. And the projected revenue should be enough. Not only it should be realistic. So when we talk about realistic, there are two ways of paying attention to realistic. So realistic means what? It means that based on the LLC that you have, based on your structure, based on your geography, you are able to pull in that number. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, your competitors, your rivals are pulling similar numbers. So what I'm trying to say here is that if you're in an industry and your competitors are pulling in on average $200,000 in annual revenue, and you are saying, listen, I'm going to make $1 million in revenue the first year, my first year in business, this is not realistic. The lender is going to deny your application. So your numbers must be realistic. And one thing I also want to say here is that when we talk about annual revenue, we have to talk about something else, which is years in business. Now, if you are a new single member LLC and you are looking for a business loan with bad credit, the way to actually bypass the years in business, aka operational longevity sort of requirements, is to write a business plan. If you write a business plan and you are able to say, you know what, I do have experience, even if I haven't been in the industry for a while, I do have experience. See, the reason why lenders want to have the year in business sort of requirements is because at least if you have they want to see a proven track record. But a proven track record, you can actually prove a track record at the personal level. Yeah. If your business has not been in operation for 2 years or 3 years, but you individually haven't been, you have been professionally involved in the same industry that you want to get into, if you've been involved in that industry for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, this is a great opportunity. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about how to get a new single member LLC business loan with bad credit. Okay, it's very important. It's really important to contextualize the conversation so that you are clear about where we are actually started from and where we are review here. See, the whole thing here is that if you were trying to get a new single member LLC business loan with bad credit, you have to understand that there are some loans that are your friend and there are some loans that are not your friend. It's just what it is. But you really want to get closer to loans that are friendlier to you and actually get your ass away from loans that are not friendly to you. It's just pure logic. And that's why we see a lot. Like we see some viewers, they ask questions like they know they have bad credit and they know they can't qualify for that specific loan that they want to go after, but they still want to go after that loan. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. So you have to understand when we talk about the single member LLC startup business loans with bad credit, you have a constellation of business loans and you got to be clear about the type of loan you could qualify for. So what are those loans? Let's talk about that. So you have term loans. So you have a single member LLC term loans. You have a single member LLC lines of credit. You have single member LLC equipment financing arrangements. So equipment financing arrangements are kind of cool. If you are, let's say you are in the, you want to buy some kind of office equipment, some kind of machinery, or some kind of like if you are, anything that is like a light equipment, or you want to buy maybe a business vehicle, you can actually classify that as equipment financing. And you will have lenders. A lot of lenders are in the industry here. They will work with you. They will finance this piece of equipment for you. And what we love about equipment financing in general is that it is a collateralized sort of credit arrangement in the first place. So lenders don't really care if you have bad credit or good credit, because they know they will have a title to the business asset. So if something were to happen, they could just come and repo the equipment, no questions asked. Okay. So the bottom line here is that you got to ask yourself, simply because you have bad credit doesn't mean you can't qualify for a single member LLC business loan. Even if you're a startup, it just means you need to be very strategic about the type of loan, the type of credit arrangement you want to get yourself into, especially because as a new single member LLC, you have not established yourself yet. Nobody knows you unless you are, unless you are known professionally in the industry, so you can parlay that professional experience into a multi-million dollar revenue business. Okay, but this is totally possible. Yeah, totally possible. I also want to talk to you about invoice financing and invoice factoring. The thing is that in this economy, I mean, like even yesterday, the Wall Street Journal was talking about the fact that small businesses are expanding now into, when it comes to small business financing, you have a lot of borrowers are actually reaching out to more alternative lenders. This just happened yesterday. The Wall Street Journal talked about it, and the Chicago Tribune also talked about it. So what are we seeing here? We are seeing that, you have alternative alternative financing arrangements, such as invoice financing and invoice factoring, as well as merchant cash advances are being made more available to single member LLC businesses, multi-member LLC businesses, new or established. It doesn't matter. It's all about how you position yourself. We see this a lot on this show all the time. It's all about how you position yourself. What does that mean? It means that how do you prepare your application package? What kind of info you put in there? What kind of projected financials you put in there? So the thing here is that you got to ask yourself what kind of projections you want to show, right? Is it projected balance sheet, projected income statement, projected cash flow statement? So you got to really be clear about that. And it's really important to understand that, besides invoice financing and invoice factoring, you also have merchant cash advances. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to get a new single member LLC business loan with bad credit. And so when we talk about merchant cash advances, those are, I would say, collateralized business loans or revenue-based business loans that you can get, even if you have bad credit or no credit for that matter. Of course, you can get a loan, not a problem, because the lender is paying. The MCA lender is looking at your revenue. And particularly your electronic sales. to see the volume you are processing every month on average for the last 3 months or 6 months. So they will look at your revenue for the last, but not your revenue, but your electronic sales statements for the last 3 to 6 months to see if there is a pattern. And if there is a pattern, they will finance you. Here is a winner for you, boss. The thing here is that if you are, let's say, if you're looking for a startup single member LLC business loan with bad credit, it really becomes important to think about the business lender. Whom are you going to choose to actually get a loan from? Okay, and we have said this on this show and on other shows in the past. It's always great to go to the bank, to the very bank where you currently have a relationship. Because for us, it just doesn't make sense if you have an existing relationship with the bank, at least if the relationship is positive, to actually bring your ass to other banks. Why would you want to do that? I mean, you already have a relationship. It's like you are in a relationship with a man or woman, and then here you are, you go look for somebody else. No. I mean, if you already have a positive relationship, you want to parlay that relationship and actually leverage it to get the loan that you are looking for, the loan for your expansion, the loan, whatever loan you're looking for. Okay, so it's always great to choose the business lender that way. That's why we tell our viewers that at a minimum you want to have one bank account. You want to have one bank account at a national bank and one bank account at a savings. Let me just repeat that. So you want to have one bank account at a national bank, then you want to have one bank account at a credit union. Okay, so you want to actually toggle between a credit union and a bank, and hopefully you want to have a national bank. So we don't want to have like a BMO Harris. I mean, BMO is kind of cool. We love BMO, but BMO is only present in 8 states. You want to have a bank account at a Chase, for example, Bank of America, Citi, or Wells Fargo. That way, the chances of you walking into one of those like brick and mortar branches is kind of high compared to BMO. I mean, BMO again is great, but they only have 500 branches in 8 states compared to, let's say, 5,000 or 500 branches that Bank of America has across all 50 states. See, so this is the kind of delta I want you to pay attention to, and you also want to pay attention to down payments. So if you are looking for a bad credit, new LLC, single member LLC loan, then maybe think about maybe down payments. If you are able to put something down, maybe you could actually win the loan. You can get a loan a lot faster. So it's all about you having some skin in the game, right, boss? It's all about that. That you also have to pay attention to collateral. So if you're trying to boost your chances of getting approved for a startup single member LLC business loan with bad credit, then you want to think about collateral. I mean, collateral sort of this harks back to what I just said about you having skin in the game, right? Because you're showing the lender that, hey, listen, I'm here to stay. I'm here to tell you that I'm for real, and then I intend to pay back the loan that you are about to grant me. So think about collateral. If you have let's say a piece of collateral at the personal level, or at the business level for the matter. Let's say you are a new business, but you already have some kind of equipment to sort of run the business. So maybe you might want to pledge that collateral also. I mean, this is possible. One thing I want to say here is that collateral, overall, the definition is just an asset or groups of assets that you offer to a lender to help secure a loan. And if you default on the loan, the lender can take the collateral to recover the money it lost. Okay, so it's really clear to really understand that. And one thing I also want to say here is that when we talk about typical business loan assets that you can use as collateral, you have real estates, you have automobiles, you have stocks, then you have business equipment and inventory. So this is really something you need to think about. But overall, one way to also actually boost your chances of approval is to actually write a business plan. I spoke about this a little earlier, like a few minutes ago, but this is I want to really insist that, hey, listen, and again, I'm not talking about you showing me like a cheap ass template to actually do your business plan. No, you want to have a real business plan. You want to basically write things through. So when somebody reads your business plan, they know that you have thought about it. It doesn't matter if you're a single member LLC. Don't sell yourself cheap though. Don't say yourself. Do not sell yourself short. Okay, you simply because you're a single member LLC doesn't mean you cannot write a business plan, a fully featured business plan. No, If you can't do it yourself because you don't have, let's say, the mental wherewithal, you don't have the expertise to actually write this type of stuff, just hire someone. Just hire someone. No shame here. You just need to, you have a business to run. You have a lot of stuff going on in your life. And all you have to do here is to actually partner with someone to kind of help you out. So maybe you have a business plan that somebody can write for you. So you have a clear idea what you're getting yourself into. And this is what we also love about the business plan here is that it will show that your new single member LLC business is not really as new as it is because you already have experience in that field. You already have dealt with a lot of stuff in the field. So when a lender looks at your business loan application, that lender would not feel a little surprised or whatever. So yeah, here is a bonus for you. And I just want to give you this bonus because if you have been listening to us for the last 15 minutes and you're still here, I want to tell you that when you think about if you are trying to get a new single member LLC business loan with the alternatives, okay, and also you might want to try applying at other banks or credit unions for that matter, or other online lenders, okay. You need to understand that there are alternatives to bad credit business loans for new single member LLCs. Like you have business credit cards, for example. You have business grants. You have crowdfunding. You have peer-to-peer lending. You have special purpose credit programs. So you do have a lot of opportunities. Now, for us, the most beneficial program for you who are listening to me right now is basically business credit cards or business grants. Otherwise, the rest you just have to go through a couple of things, and in some cases, you're just getting hard pulls of a hard pull of a hard pull, and nothing happens. So yeah, but if you are interested in having something really solid, probably do some if you need to have your constellation of backup plans in terms of raising money. Okay, so this is kind of important. And grants are not loans, which means you don't have to pay them back once you receive the funds. There are many grants programs that focus on different groups, including women, veterans, and minorities, so which can then help underserved demographics start companies. This is a great opportunity. Now, one thing I also want to say here is that when we talk about getting a new single member LLC business loan with bad credit, we do not talk about what will happen if you move from bad credit to fair credit. And if you are moving up on the personal level, what if the business is moving down? What will happen then? Because you will have a lot of dichotomy going on right now. So those are things I really want you to think about beforehand. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just quickly talking to you about how to get a new single member LLC business loan with bad credit. So I give you the approach, the review, the winner, and the bonus also, and also the review. Thank you. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. It's not the review. The last part is the recap. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.